And for today, I'll be doing a new part of What If Deku Was in No Game No Life, Part 4. So, without other way, let's begin the story. We last left off when Izuku, Sora, Shiro declared war against the war beasts, betting their racial peace in the process, which Izuku's final words to Shiro said, "Always remember me, Shiro." And they went to sleep. Shiro wakes up confused that she is in the bed. She usually sleeps in the shack, wanders around looking for Sora and Izuku. Shiro just says, "Oni-chan, Oni-chan," wondering where Sora is, and asking, "Are you there?" Wondering where Izuku is. She, Steph, and Jabril were in the same, I guess you could say, room, or in the bedroom, the master bedroom. And they essentially were looking after Shiro, which Shiro bursted out of the room, went to the shack, and looking for Izuku and Sora, which she just has a mental breakdown, saying that because if you remember, she can't be without Izuku or either Shiro. And yeah, which it always rings in her mind, saying that always remember me, always remember me. Shiro always remembers the same words that Izuku said to her, and she was actually crying, looking for a way of contacts, anything for Izuku, which they were they were nothing, nothing at all. It's like his existence was erased along with Sora, which it was shocking. It's really shocking. But she didn't lose hope. Well, at first, you could say that she lost hope. Jibril thought that she gambled away her memories for alternative memories, and she asked Shiro politely, saying that, "Master, would you like to play a game with me? And if do so kindly, lose." Which they play a game of chess. This is for the right for Shiro's quote unquote uh altered you could say memories, altered memories. And Shiro just and really just Shiro was really thinking that it was all fake. It was all just an altered memory. Nothing of it was real. But before she could ever, lose, Izuku appeared right next to her and grabbed her hand and said and mouthed the same words that would always be said, which Shiro just remembers them by, which Shiro just says, blank never loses. And putting the final piece and saying checkmate on Jibril. Jibril asks Shiro, "Why did you do that?" It was for your memories were altered. Which Shiro just immediately said, "No, they weren't altered. They were real. I know my brother and lover from heart." Yes, yes, that is true. Lover, my boy. Which yeah, Izuku and Shiro were had a very special bond to say. They had it's like in the anime, like Sora and Shiro know what each other are doing essentially, which in this exact moment she quite remembers, quite, and I mean quite, thinking of something, which she rushes to the throne room and looks around, seeing that where are they, where are they, which she heard a voice saying, "Shiro, Shiro." Izuku's voice saying Shiro, and she thinking where they could be, and she neglected her own ideals and said that even if it burns me out, she thought of a way. She thought and thought of a way of how it will be done, which eventually she thought that about the elves and about the memories that they had and the exact same wording that Izuku said, that they believe in Shiro. They fully believe in Shiro, which she passes out through burnout and me- and remembers that everything that the game was to be. It was, I forgot what the name of the game was, but I'm really sorry. But yeah, essentially the game where it flips or something. I forgot the name. Essentially, you either are black or white. Uh, not in sorry to say that, but either you uh are you're player one or player two. I'm just gonna say it like that. And she and Sora Sora and Izuku picked what white or P, I guess P1, player one. And the elf with the girl with Phi, let's just say that. Let's just say that she picked the black piece or player two, which they started to play, which Sora's memories were being, used as well as Izuku's. She she actually made it to where that Sora lost, then Izuku you know came to fight again and actually lost as well. Just giving her more memories, what he has been through, what the trauma he has been through, and everything part of her memories, which they Jibril, Steph as well as Shiro dilate, their eyes dilate and moved on. Which the elf girl, which was Zell, sorry for not saying it, Zell and Fi, I don't remember how to pronounce it correctly, but Zell and Fi were wondering why isn't the game over. He, Zell defeated uh, both of them, and she remembers what the game rules were for Sora and Izuku. They said that either the three of us or our partner can play again, which was Sora. No, Shiro. Sorry, but yeah, essentially that. Which she wakes up immediately and says that really, and I mean really, fast. Wakes up like from a nightmare or something. She rushes, yeah, and she rushes to the throne room again, to on the floor, and to look around, which Stephanie was going to get, I guess, a glass of water, we could say. I forgot what she was going to do, but it wasn't really that big of a deal of what she was going to do, to be fair. But she essentially was going to get a glass of water, but tripped on something, which which Sora, which not Sora, Steph looked where she was tripped, and Jibril just says that, "Are you really that clumsy, Dolly?" Which she just says that, "No, what did I trip?" Which when Shiro looks at it, she saw that it was the piece or their piece, which she essentially remembers everything, this exact moment, and knows what Izuku and Sora were doing, which she plays her piece. She said san, ichi, and ni, then ichi. And ichi meaning her whole entire being, her whole entire being. Ni meaning that uh their get-togethers, I guess. I forgot what they are. And uh ni, no, san meaning um their the memories that Izuku made with them, and everything, the challenges and everything, which she actually won the game, and Izuku and Sora rematerializes in rematerializes in like particles, and Sora and Shiro just says, and essentially inhales and exhales, and says, and and Shiro just looks at Izuku and Sora with Izuku and Sora having a smirk, saying that I'm proud of you, Shiro. We're proud of you, Shiro. Which she just she just hugs them both and saying, I'm very sorry. Gomene, gomene, gomene. She's saying sorry, sorry again and again, saying that she should have she should have known sooner. She should have known sooner. Which Izuku just pats her head and says, it's fine. We knew this would happen. Besides, we know you, Shiro. We're family, remember? Izuku having a smile and hugging Shiro. And it was a great big hug, which Jibril and staff remembers. Jibril says, I cannot believe I forgot my master. And Shiro just, not Shiro, staff just says that, how could I forget the one I love? Yeah, blah, blah, blah. Which, uh, Shiro just got clingy to Izuku and says, no, my spot. Essentially sitting on Izuku's lap. Yeah. Which, after that, Zell, if I remember, Zell, or Zeal, or, yeah, Zell. I'm just gonna call her Zell for now. Which, Zell, actually, her eyes dilated, like, she was gone, like, she, quote unquote, died. Which, Fi just, um, was shouting her name, Zell, 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 are you alright? Which, she just, she was just very worried of Zell. And yeah, she should be because she was her only friend, quote unquote. I don't remember everything to be fair, but yeah, she she essentially said that to Zell, and she she wouldn't wake up. Which Izuku now says that now our, I guess, demands, the two demands that we receive, which which Izuku just, number one, both players get their memories back, and the copies, uh and copies of what the other players' memories were. Which, and to their surprise, Zell's Zell apparently wakes up. Which Zell looks at Izuku and Sora with a smile and says, I really want now I really want to play your game. And Izuku just says, well, welcome to the team. Which, yeah, which the second demand was, Sora said that we need to access your memories, the elf's memories. Yeah, the elf's memories. Which Fi was a little bit, unhinged with uh Fi was a little bit concerned, but Zell just says, it's fine, I trust them. I know what they're going to do. I know what they're going to use it for. So essentially, you're gonna make us your spies, Zell said. Which which Sora just says, clever girl. You're now thinking like us. With with a chuckle, obviously. Which she just says that, uh she said that to Izuku and Sora. Which eventually they got the right to, access their memories. Which now they come up with a plan on how to do it. Which on the next day was the day of the game. Essentially the game, yeah. Which, as I said before, they come up with a plan yesterday of how they're going to do it. Which, yeah. People outside were roaring, saying unvulgar things to the king, or should I say Sora, Shiro, as well as Izuku. saying a lot of vulgar things to them, which, to where, they just ignored them because this was all a part of their plan, to be fair, which they arrived at the Eastern Federation eventually. A lot of, let's just say, humanity slash humanity, uh, were in the stadium looking of what their king had done, or they, or essentially like a crowd in a tournament match, essentially the piercing eyes of them looking at your every waking move, essentially, which Izuku, Shiro, Sora, Jibril, as well as Steph were in the locker rooms before they, or not essentially locker rooms, but before they, enter the game. Which Izuku just uh, Izuku just asked, "So is anybody it just and does anybody remember the plan?" Which everybody nodded their heads. Which Izuku just says, "Then let's go." Which they start to go to the area of where they're going to play, which was it was going to be, I guess, virtual. You could say virtual. Which so they went to the pods and go in them, which they essentially were plugged in like into the matrix, which they which when they were initialized, they looked to see Izuku, Sora, Shiro were surprised, and they see that it was Japan, to more specifically Tokyo, which was Tokyo, Japan, the capital. I guess you could say. I forgot if it's Tokyo or Tokyo or it. Yeah, in Tokyo. It was in Tokyo. Sorry. Essentially that, and Sora, Shiro were carrying in fear, saying, the light, it's too much." Which Izuku just chuckles and says that it's just artificial light, you two. And they just said, "Still, if you shut-ins like us, you you would know the reason, Izuku." Which Izuku just says, "Well, I'm not a shut-in like you guys, so I don't know. Remember, I do parkour outside. Remember that." So yeah, eventually they explained the game. It was an FPS shooter, which the objective was shoot um to shoot the enemy and win. Which Izuku just looks at Shiro, and Shiro looks at Izuku, and they nod. Which Izuku has a plan to, look like he is, not good. Which are just let's just say that this is gonna be so good. Which yeah, which the match goes on for usual. Seeing that, well, it's just a normal match, and um, Sora was testing everything on Steph, which Izuku didn't like, saying that, "Hey, Sora, stop doing that. I know you have a fetish or something, but stop doing that." Which Sora just says, "Sure, Izuku." Which you really are a buzzkill. Hey, I don't care. It's just plain wrong. Come on, man. Which yeah. After that, they were looking around for Izuna. Yeah, they were looking around for Izuna, which luckily for them wasn't that around, and she was actually hiding using her senses and stuff. Which Izuku just remembers everything. His FPS days, sim Shock C, Device, Zipex, as a lot of the CS:GO community, as well as Valorant community, like Tans, uh, who else? Who else? Um, Fall. No, not Fallen. I forgot that. I really forgot a lot of the names of the Valorant scene. But yeah, they were. He remembers everything, and I really do mean everything. Every play that he has done to defeat every single one of them, which he it just clicks in his head, essentially. Which eventually, when it came to nighttime, they were being chased by Izuna, and yeah, chased around by Izuna, which with Izuku having parkour skills, he actually outrun Izuna, which uh which it was all a part of the plan, which Izuku separates with Izuna, with uh Sora and Shiro, which he hides for now. Which what he does next is he, let's just say, he f- he was looking for any possible detail that he could use, essentially, which everything in this scene goes the same as canon, like like Sora being quote unquote being blasted and fighting against, no, Shiro getting blasted and fighting against Sora, um Shiro uh Sora jumping off the roof and Jabril catching them, and Sora Shiro, Jabril, as well as Steph being defeated by Izuna, which it left Izuku, which it's a perfect time, which Izuna thought she has won, which Izuku says, nah, you're not done yet, Izuna, which she looks at Izuku, which she remembers that Izuku was very very terrible, because when Izuku tried to shoot at her, uh, sh- Izuku missed. It was let's just say point blank range, and she missed, and Izuku missed, which in after that he starts to run, which it was quite funny. Which Izuna just says, "Can you really defeat me from what you did by basing off your skills?" Izuku just says that it doesn't mean when I'm not, doing my best. Doesn't mean I'm not the greatest. I'm just giving you a handicap for that, but well, it's my turn to shine. It's time for me to carry them. Which Izuku having his blaster, I can say the pistol. I can't say, the G word, but pistol. Yeah, his pistol. And doing some insane flicks. And I mean flicks, flicks, flicks. Like Izuna had to, to react from point 0.1 point 0.5 milliseconds fast to just dodge it. It was so fast, the flicks, which Izuku just says, they don't call me the god of FPS for nothing. Which Izuku says, vertigo, and he shoots Izuna. Uh, which it didn't hit her, but he was bouncing. Essentially, he was aiming for a wall bang, which was quite good. Which Izuku was, jumping around, dashing, doing parkour as well as bouncing off of walls to fight Shizuna or Izuna. I said Shizuna, but yeah, Izuku was bouncing around every wall, and he eventually was stuck in a corner, not really a corner, but they're stuck in the main field, essentially where they respawned, and essentially it became an all-out shootout. And Izuku says, I had enough of this. And Izuku aims it right at Izuna's head and says, "Checkmate." Fires. Izuna not reacting quick enough. Even if she uses her, her, I guess, full form, or yeah, full form. I forgot what its name was, but full form to an extent, she couldn't really surpass Izuku. She couldn't beat him at his own game, which Izuku just fight. Izuku just wins, and everybody was shocked that how athletic, how powerful he is, how deadly he is. And by the way, Ritsu was actually talking to him on calm, saying that accuracy, what he should do, because Ritsu was essentially uh his aim assist, because he can actually do it when he can actually do it with perfect accuracy without Ritsu, but it always helps when there's a person that you know can guarantee that you can do the shot or something. Which yeah, which that's what Ritsu did. Which he just demolishes Izuna. Which yeah, which the war beasts were shocked, and well, the war beasts were shocked. Every war beast in the nation were shocked that this kid was that powerful, that genius, that he can rival Izuna or a war beast at their own game, which Izuku was top tier. Let's just say that. Which yeah, Izuku just fights. Izuku just puts his hands up and says, "Let's go!" Sorry for shouting, but yeah, essentially Izuku just wins, which everybody was, every humanity was proud of him, or proud that they had a king like him have balls of steel, essentially balls of steel, which Izuku just s- says that they were cheating. They were, Izuna was say, no, not Izuna. Izuna's grandfather was the one, saying everything, saying a lot, and I mean really a lot of stuff to Izuna to help her win, which that didn't count. That didn't really need to happen, because Izuku, when he was in his when he was in the our world, in the MHA world, not in the No Game No Life world, he always faced people that use hacks. Yeah, hacks. He always faced people with aimbots, uh, X-ray, wall hacks, and stuff like that, which he can easily defeat by just the bullet, by just where the bullet came from. If it came from that angle, then it wouldn't be possible. Then he shoot at it in that angle, and kaboom! He defeated he defeated every single one of, yeah, sorry about that. He defeated every single one hacker that he has faced, which was quite surprising, to be fair, because it's hacks. What they expect. Which yeah, which everybody, Shiro, Sora, Steph, Jibril, were actually surprised. Were surprised that Izuku was this good and this athletic, which it came in handy. Which Izuku just says, "I told you it will come in handy." Which Sora just gives him $5. It says, "Yeah, yeah, I know the bet." Which yeah, I actually betted that his parkour skills back then were going to be useful, which it proved use. So yeah, which after that, They eventually went back to their homes, to the castle, which Izuna and her grandfather was, there as well. Which she Izuna was, getting cleaned by Shiro and Steph, which Izuku was relaxing in the hot tub, which was quite refreshing. And Sora was, just there, minding his own business with Izuna's grandfather, which Shiro just says, "Why won't you come here, Izu?" Which Izuku just says, "Well, I don't want to. I don't want, I don't want to. It's rude." Which Shiro just says, "Good answer." Which, yeah, eventually uh they went to the main, no, not the main office, the throne room, and actually were sitting there for a few minutes until until Jibril said that, um I guess the representative of the war beast gave them a gave them an invitation, which eventually they went to the war beasts. And Izuku asked, why did it happen, or what is the meaning of this, essentially. In a calm, sweet tone, Izuku said that, which the representative of the war beast said that, or Miko, or yeah, the war beast representative, you could say, or the priestess, which yeah, which they were invited to a game, which it was so close that um Mi- Miko almost, cut their throats, to be fair. It was this close, which Izuku does. Uh Rules, the pledges say there's no violence and no killing, which they stopped. Which they don't. I don't actually know what happens if you disobey the pledges. I don't really know. Which yeah, which Izuku just yeah, Izuku just says that, how about we play a game? And he said that about humanity combining and stuff. Yeah, having the resources to go back to humanity and actually getting the whole nation. And for Izuku saying that humanity will get the nation, but we would be on a peace treaty. Essentially, we will help each other. Which which it was down to a coin flip, which he tossed the which they both agreed to the pledges, and says, and Izuku tossed the coin, which she just activates her awakened mode, I guess you could say. I forgot what the name was, but it was to the upper ability, the blood break. Yeah, blood break, I guess, or something like that. Essentially enhancing her capabilities, and actually, checking the rotation of the yeah, checking the rotation of the coin of which it would be. And she just says tails, which Izuku just says heads, which the coin landed, let's just say, la- up, essentially on its side. The coin landed on its side, and Izuku just says, "Oh dang! What would it be? Wo- would we both win or would we both lose? What do you want?" Which the Izuna's grandfather just, "Are you shitting me?" Essentially, the odds of this happening was very, very low, to be fair. The odds of that happening is a lot low. which Miko just says, "Do you really want me to say it? Fine, we both win." Which eventually they were, have had the alliance. And actually, because there is no season 2 of the of No Game No Life, time skip a few years. Izuku Sorashiro became the new quote unquote gods of No Game No Life as well, but Tet as Tet was, still has his position as, god still, because Izuku Sorashiro doesn't want to, deal with all of this. Which eventually Izuku asked Tet, uh, how can we still go back to our world? Which Tet just says, yes, you can. You're the new gods after all. You still can. Which they said, which they Izuku looked at Sora and Shiro, which they had a meeting with everybody, with Steph, Miko, everybody that they came around with, Zell as well as P, Jibril, and Tet, ask saying that, do you guys want to go back to my world? Do you guys want to go to my world or to our world? Which which Shiro Sora just says, I'm it's fine with me. I don't really just it's because it's fine with us, to be fair. It's it's really fine. So which everybody said they agreed that they were going to to Izuku's world, go back to Izuku's world, and eventually a bright light appeared in them, and that's it. I I hope you guys enjoyed this series. Sorry for not uploading a what if for, I guess, a week. And yeah, this series is the part that I'm going to be doing, which I'm really sorry that it's janky as heck. Not that not that quite good. Remember, I'm not using scripts. I essentially more stutter when I use scripts. Sorry about that. But yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this series. Like I always say, like, comment, subscribe, and see you guys later. Bye.